All right, all right, all right. I guess I was knocked off for a reason. I'll do it my fucking self then. Let's bring some viewers in. I'll wait to see if anybody's coming in or if I'm still banned. I think I've been banned. 45, 46, 47. There he is, Thin Blue Line Slayer. Yeah, they probably knocked me off because, copyright infringement or whatever, but he could explain it much better than I. I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Cajun Randy, it was the FBI, I'm telling you. It was the FBI that did it. But they can't knock me off. No. Okay. Well, we got a few other people in here that were probably interested in what the fuck was going on, but I can't play that video, even though, like I said, he's an attorney, a very good attorney. And let me give his name because I should do that. His name is Robert. See that? Guevara, Esquire. And look what he got for you. I would suggest going to his site. I would suggest it. All right. But anyhow, getting back to this juicy tidbit, I'm going to do it myself. And you know what? You're going to like it. Okay. Here they get into the Supreme Court precedents. The government overreaching can constitute entrapment as a matter of law and can provide grounds for vacating conviction. And here, oh, see, United States, Jacobson versus the United States. Because the government overstepped the line between setting a trap for an okay, that goes into the story. We'll get into this story right here. This is a motion to dismiss the kidnapping charges. See, they're going through all the defense is going through all the case law pertaining to government entrapment. Right? And we'll get into the meat of it here in a second. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here's where he was. I'll get off camera. Regarding the initial suggestion of wrongdoing and expression of reluctance, on July 7th, 2020, multiple defendants and others were together when someone apparently raised the subject of kidnapping. That subject, that someone in the group immediately stated that they were not cool with offensive kidnapping, while others, including defendant Franks and Harris, echoed the statement. This incident shows that there was no predisposition. That's a big word. Predisposition, meaning pre-thought. It's all right to talk about kidnapping the governor. You can talk about it legally. You just can't do anything to follow through on it. That there was no predisposition to kidnap Governor Whitmer or anyone else. At the National Militia meeting held by the government, the agents, Ty Garbin rebuffed the agent's suggestion of kidnapping of a public official. So the agent, the informant, suggested kidnapping the governor or public officials. So I think an objective to go far is not kidnapping, he said. 3 weeks later, the defendant, Daniel Harris, told the lead detective, CHS is an informant, but not a detective, an agent, and others, no snatch and grab. I swear to fucking God. You understand that? The second time, the government asked, let's go kidnap someone. Daniel Harris said, no snatch and grab. I swear to fucking God. Motion to admit statement, blah, 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 blah. Ty Garbin even seconded Mr. Harris's repudiation of the notion of kidnapping when he stated, kidnapping is just as bad as going into the Capitol. These are statements. Even FBI special agent Impala has testified regarding to August 9th, confirming that the defendants reacted negatively to the idea of kidnapping. Hey, Tam the man, good to see you. So, the government put the idea of kidnapping Whitmer into these guys' heads. And they said, fuck no, are you crazy? Question. Can we call it that? All right. And what's the reaction of the group when Adam Fox talks about this idea? Answer. Well, there was a negative reaction. The agent, this guy says, FBI Special Agent Impala is saying this. He was asked, can we call it that? Oh, all right. And what's the reaction of the group when Adam Fox talked about this idea? Well, there was a negative reaction, the agent says. People were surprised. And they didn't take too kindly. Like, right? They're like, what the fuck? The kidnapping? Are you serious? We just met you. Just like 3 months ago, 4 months, a year ago, we just met you. You're talking, brother, we were shooting guns and stuff. Now you're talking about kidnapping? I don't think so. There was a lot of questions being asked. Ooh, sorry about that. I'm going to have here. Okay. After that meeting, later in the evening on August 9th, 2020, Special Agent Chambers and Impala participated in a phone call with the informant or agent, Dan and Adam Fox. The informant, Dan, right, what would you think about with everybody where they're at? Like, and Adam Fox, definitely divided on the kidnapping. This is the defendant. Definitely divided on kidnapping. CHS, the informant, the agent, like your plan and all, Adam Fox. I mean, we're divided. These defendants had no desire whatsoever to kidnap anyone. Yet, the government wouldn't drop the idea. And the government informant, the agent, continued to broach plans despite official government admonitions barring the suggestion of such plans. So the government agent, the informant, again, is broaching the subject, let's kidnap the governor. You as a government agent or an informant fall under the same rules as the inspectors and the investigators and the agents You cannot put the idea in somebody's mind to kidnap or commit a felony as a government informant. You could provide everything else for them. You could buy them, which we'll find out. Here's what they did. Okay, we'll continue on. Phone calls like the ones above represent a mere appetizer. The informant, agent, handlers pulled the puppet strings the entire time. The informant, handlers pulled the puppet strings the entire time. On August 28th, the informant agent asked S.A. Chambers, would you want two trips, or wait till we get more guys? As part of his attempt to get it right for the government. So here's the handler asking the investigator, the FBI agent, would you want two trips or wait till we get more guys? As part of his attempt to get it right for the government. In the state court, S.A. Impala affirmed his direct role in telling CHS, the informant, what to say to people. He told a informant what to say to Adam Fox. He was communicating with the CHS informant during the CHS conversations with Fox. So as the informant was talking to Fox, the agent was listening in. Nude Guru. We're talking about the kidnapping of Governor Whitmire. Okay. The informant's conversation with Fox, his directions including suggestions that Fox come train at Joe Morrison's property in Munich and urged Fox to do so. So here the informant to the FBI, conversation with the defendant, the militia leader of what the informant created. The informant created this militia. The government created this militia that Fox, the defendant, and other defendants were in. Grab B, transparency, what's going on? He says, we were talking about it. We were talking about what was saying. Interestingly, given S.A. Chambers' role in directing activities here and in a company that tweeted about the investigation as explored in the early filings. This S.A. Chambers had a company called Exotel. Look at this. This FBI agent, the government had a shell corporation called Exotel that he dissolved eventually, LLC, that he ran money through for this operation because this was a big operation. There was only 5 normal people, patriots. The rest of them were agents, as we will find out. The defendants never agreed to the government's kidnapping plans. Okay? It says here that he used this corporation in a government strategic plan that ultimately came up short, noting that that's not important. The Sixth Circuit. Okay, I'll go right here. The defendants didn't agree to the government kidnapping plans and repudiation. Even the government implicitly recognizes. So the defendant said, "Hell no, we ain't going to kidnap the governor." And the government agents said, yeah, they said, no, we aren't going to do that. But the government agents continued to push. Then, in response to the defendant's rejection of the government plot to kidnap the government agents prompted the informant, Dan, to propose alternative, less violent property crimes which have been previously identified to the court. The government and the informant, government agent, proposed these ideas in an effort to hang on to something to justify their work. For example, the government suggested the idea of firing rounds into the governor's cottage and sending the shell casings to her. Yeah, forget about, okay, you guys, you patriots, you 5 patriots that we've organized you here, forget about us telling you to kidnap the governor. How about just doing a drive-by? Shoot a few rounds in and collect the shell casings and mail the shell casings to her. That's a good idea. Right? Now, the government told them to kidnap the governor, but they ain't about that. So the government says, okay, if you ain't about that, how about shooting her fucking place up? Okay. So, but at this time, don't you think somebody like one of these 5 defendants would start to get it? That something isn't making any sense here. Like, why is this guy over here pushing us to kidnap somebody? I mean, they've known this Dan, this informant, for a long time. About a year. So these 5 guys got to know Dan, the informant, the agent. Okay, so they wanted to fire a few rounds into the governor's cottage. Of course, the governor has a cottage, right? Notably, the government actors made the first effort to find the address for the cottage. Okay, so the government said, okay, forget about kidnapping, but here's the address to the governor's cottage. Forget about that kidnapping stuff. Here's the the governor's cottage address. Again, a felony. Government agents telling these guys to commit a felony. Where to go? Called entrapment. Right? You can't tell them where to go. You could set everything else up. You could buy the fucking taxi that they drive in or the car they drive in. You could purchase the building that you meet up in. You, as a government agent, can do whatever you want to do, but you can't tell them to commit the fucking crime. That's a no-no. All right. Much like the agent in McLaren. Okay, that's the case law that they're referencing here. McLaren. All right, right here. The government conceived and controlled every aspect of the alleged plot. On September 5, 2020, FBI Special Agent Chambers texted the informant, Agent Dan, mission is to kill the governor specifically. Do you see that? On September 20th, Special Agent Chambers texted the informant, Dan, the informant agent Dan, mission is to kill the governor specifically, not, some way, somehow, maybe not, maybe kill a bodyguard. The governor's, now, if you're a defense attorney, you're 5 defense attorneys here, and they all signed off on it on this motion to dismiss on Christmas Day or Eve. They got these messages. They got this special agent Chambers message to tell Dan, the special agent, to kill the governor. That's like the agent telling the agent to go ahead along with the other guys to go ahead and kill. You might as well just ride the fuck along with them, make sure they do the job right. Holy shit. All right, here we go. It gets good. Three months after the government proposed kidnapping, and 2 months after the defendant strident repudiation of the idea, and a month after the defendant's reiteration of their repudiation, the government agents continued to push to shape a kidnapping plan, even trying to elevate it to murder. Let's do this. You hear it? You hear it? Hey, ABC News, Nightly News, ABC Nightly News. How do you feel about that? Governor Whitmire, you were pissed off about them right-wing Christian fanatic Trumpsters trying to fucking kidnap you. No, they were trying to kill you, bitch. And it wasn't the 5 guys here, it was the informant and the FBI agents. Okay. It's beautiful so far, isn't it? And I didn't think I'd be doing this good of a job. Not like the other attorney, but hey, let's continue. With regard to inducement and persuasion, the government's emotional manipulation abounded. And its approach was persistent and emotional from the onset. Of course they are. They're emotional. And I'm going to tell you, you auditors out there, you better pay the fuck attention about what I'm about ready to show you. And this is why I bring it up. Because no matter what group you're in, no matter if you're a fucking Antifa guy or a Black Lives Matter guy or a white right-winger survivalist, a prepper, whatever they group you as, they're going to use the same tactics with you as they use with these guys. And they have. Even worse, I'm sure. So when you go out into groups like 5 or 6, it's a conspiracy. They could frame it as a conspiracy. And then it include people in your ranks. How do you know who's to the left and who's to the right of you if you go out in a group of 20, unless you really are tight with that group of 20? You got to be careful who you go out with. They may not appear to be who they are. And this proves it. All right. Here we go. Agents and informants use ties related to friendships, being role models, and acting as father figures to develop trusts and reliances in the defendants. Here's a whole bunch of young guys, the defendants, a whole bunch of young guys may or may not have been in the military, hate to see the way their country is going. They have these beliefs. So the government targets them. And then when they target them, they offer friendship, they offer role models. They act like father figures, these special agents and informants. It's a psychological game. It's all psychological, actually. And if you could pinpoint something odd is about that guy, he's asking stupid shit, then you know he's an FBI agent and stay the fuck away from him. As a matter of fact, I can't say that. I can't say that. As a matter of fact, but I can say this. As a matter of fact, what needs to happen is, as soon as you spot them, because they ain't your friend, they're an agent. Somebody asks you to do something outrageously stupid. Let's go film and go past that gate. Let's do this. Let's do that. Something outrageous. What do you do with a person like that? We used to call them narcs. We used to call them narcs. And what did we do with narcs? No. I just had to take a break because I wanted to drink. I'm sorry. I just needed them up there for entertainment. Them bang bang, just for entertainment, folks. This is all it's all entertainment, folks. It's all entertainment. Take a drink, everybody. Calm down. Calm down. Just take a drink. Mm. All right. Let's continue. The CHS, okay, the informant, the government agent. I'll just say CHS from now on. Snitches, that's the word I was trying to say. Think of snitches. Snitches get bitch snitches get stitches. Yes, thank you, Nat. Yes, thank you for reminding me of that. All right? All right. The informant, I'll just say agent because he's not an informant. Dan is not an informant. Dan is an agent. It's like putting a badge on you. It's like when a FBI when an FBI inspector or investigator comes up to you as an informant and says, "Hey, we could pay you, or we got something on you. Why don't you be our informant?" It's like deputizing them. They cannot break the law just because they're deputized. They fall under the same guidelines as these special agents. They cannot tell the people that they are narking on, that they're ratting on. Rat fanks is another good one. To do a crime, commit a felony. You can't do that. Otherwise, it's what? Entrapment, you stupid fuckers. Okay. Here we go. The informant used military veterans as informants, having these people pose as patriotic Americans concerned with preserving the principles enshrined in the Constitution. Oh, how lovely. Read that again. Read that again. The agent used military veterans as informants, having these people pose as patriotic Americans concerned with preserving the principles enshrined in the U.S. Constitution. Oh, these veterans. Who are you veterans that are doing this? I'd like to know. I hope there aren't any Marines that are doing this. And how are they doing it? By being father figures, role models. All young men like to hear about war stories and shit, right? How you saw the blood and guts in war. Yeah. Did you see any guts blown out? Yeah, I saw guts blown out. Fucking A right. I saw 'em when I went over here and I went over there, and they're all sitting around a campfire. Yeah, yeah. Veterans. How dare you, veterans? Examples of these emotional tactics are everywhere in this case. In June 22nd, 2020, an undercover government employee agent texted Adam Fox, the agent in charge. Hey, brother, this is Mark using my girlfriend's account. Okay? This is one of the conspirators using his girlfriend's account. And he's texting Fox, who is the defendant. Alyssa was talking to your fiance, Amanda, about getting more involved, and Amanda suggested I contact you. Now, what the agent is saying, he's texting Fox and he's saying, hey, your girlfriend and my girlfriend are bitches, you see? We're bitches in solidarity and we are patriot girls. Just to get the guys to feel good about each other, right? My girlfriend is your girlfriend's girlfriend, which means me and you could be buddies, right? All right, here we go. From the get go, the government manufactured ties to loved ones, like Fox's fiance, to gain acceptance and trust in the group. Dan, the agent, reported, going good here, just burning rounds, okay? They're out there shooting. They're out there shooting, just burning rounds. On September 30th, Dan told Adam Fox, the defendant, that Dan could not afford food or medical care, citing an inability to purchase a pizza that cost less than $6. So Dan, the informant, the narc, Dan, the rat fink Dan, can't afford a pizza. Oh, poor Dan. Poor Dan can't afford a pizza pie worth $6. He's so poor. The FBI ain't paying him too well. The FBI just ain't paying him much at all. He can't. He's telling all the fellas in the group, I can't pay for a pizza. Terrible. Garnering sympathy, I guess. While, wait for it. He can't afford a pizza, he's saying. While Dan receives tens of thousands of dollars for his cooperation with the government. So Dan, the rat fink Dan that can't afford a $6 pizza is making tens of thousands of dollars. It said 50,000 to be exact. Snafu Bar's getting it. Tens of thousands, $50,000 Dan, the snitch, got. Let's just call him Dan the snitch. He got $50,000 for cooperating with the government, sometimes in envelopes filled with cash. He fostered a bond with the defendants by claiming poverty and deprivation. Oh, poor rat thing, Dan. Oh, he's destitute. Look at the soles on his shoes. He probably has holes in them. Poor Dan. Oh, poor Dan. Dan used his untreated hernia as a device to gain sympathy with Fox and others. He claimed that the VA would not provide him proper treatment after his years of combat service in the Army. Of course, he was in the Army. If he was in the Army. But if it's anybody that's a rat fink, it's an Army guy. I hate to say that all you Army guys aren't that way, but this motherfucker is. I've seen some bad Marines I've seen some bad Marines too. So I can't say that. But Dan, you're an Army veteran if you are. At Luther FTX, wherever that is, in September, Dan, Bootlicker Dan, Ratfink Dan, would tell Adam Fox that he was waiting to die. Feeling the emotional pull of such a confession, Adam Fox, the defendant, told Dan that Dan needs to get surgical treatment as a priority over any of the mission plans. He said, wait, you can't do any of it. You're hurting. You're hurting. Look, your guts are fucking hanging out. Your guts are hanging out. You need to get fixed. Dan's like, no. Don't have the money. The VA turned me down. No, I could struggle through this hernia, brother. White power. Struggle through it. White power. I'm a badass, bald-headed white man. I got a swastika tattoo on my butthole. Yes, I can put up with this hernia. Besides, I don't have no fucking money. No scats around here. No cabbage to fucking burn. No. But I can hang in there with you, brother. Dan, in his rat think pinko role, was pushing. The government coordinated and brought unrelated participants, otherwise known as otherwise as unknown to one another, together for meetings where government actors would attempt to radicalize them. When meeting at Dublin and Pebbles, Ohio, provide what the fuck is that word? Pellicid examples? I don't know what that word means. I've never seen that word right there. But I'm sure it means perfect examples. As touched on above, Dan, the bootlegger Dan, first raised the specter of kidnapping at a Dublin meeting. At the National Militia meeting in Pebbles, this Dan, Ratfink Dan, attempted to motivate the targets into anger with rousing speeches featuring Antifa, mask mandates, and similar topics. For example, this is what Dan, the Ratfink, got together all these people, paid for the room. How does Dan have a fucking hernia? How does Dan have a hernia that can't be treated? How does Dan have no money to buy a pizza, but he's buying rooms in hotels to give these rousing speeches? This is Dan at a hotel giving a rousing speech. He says, Dan, the rat fink, to Fox and the defendants. And this right here is why the fuck I'm telling you. It's been allowed by DeWine here. Fucking shit-face, the white face or whatever her name is. Blackface fucking there. Why are we not returning the same measure that we were being given? Why are we giving quarter when no quarter is being given? motherfuckers are going to throw shit at us, why aren't we throwing shit back? Why are we not fucking this why I'm saying I agree with you 100%. This was to happen. I agree 100% with you guys. This shit has to fucking happen, because if not, this shit right here is going to continue to kill us in our back fucking yards. Yeah. That's right, brother. That's right, brother. We're going to get them. Yeah. This is Bootlicker Dan. This is Bootlicker Dan. Efforts like these at national meetings came from multiple rat finks and FBI agents who coordinated their work within the meetings to create an atmosphere of crisis, impeding social unrest, all in an effort to motivate the targets to work with Dickhead Dan to join him in his plot to kidnap Governor Whitmire. Ratfink Dan and his handlers' efforts to coordinate a group to initiate his attack planning did not bear fruit. However, despite the government's investment of time, money, and manipulation, on September 3rd, 2020, Adam Fox responded to Dickhead Dan, inquiring as to Dickhead Dan's proposal about acting on the governor at Elk Rapids. Fox replied. This is what Fox says to defend it. No, we're not going to kidnap the fucking governor. Dan said no, or Fox said no, we're not, Dan. Dickhead Dan, we're not going to kidnap the governor. Let's keep that to us, but throw out maybe taking the cap, or gunning down Antifa, or even saying arresting the governor, or maybe even charging politicians, and then we could float the idea of cops enforcing constitutional law. This is what the defendant is saying in a text message. Fox is telling Dickhead Dan, Bootlicker Dan, Traitor Dan, no, I'm not going along with the kidnapping thing. Maybe we could kill some fucking Antifa members. Maybe we could start talking about charging politicians with crimes, right? And then maybe if we do charge politicians with crimes, float the idea of enforcing constitutional law, right? Really? That these guys are guilty of what? Okay. Continuing in this vein, on September 7th, 2020, he sent this chat message to Dan. Listen, this is Fox, the defendant, to Bootlicker Dan, Ratfink Dan. Listen, our main direction at this moment is prepare for possible bug out plans. Thank you. Wanted to do TY wanted to do. We need to have that in line, set up, make sure everyone's prospective families are safe, and then we have results. Whatever that means. That means like, hey, we have to think about our families if we're going to do anything. And I'm not talking about kidnapping the governor. They see these preppers and these young guys, they don't understand. Okay, so Fox is completely on a different subject than the kidnapping. He's like, let's protect our families first before we do anything. All right. In a telephone conversation on September 8th, 2020, Fox said, listen, this is what I want to do for now, right? Like, I want to do everything we talked about, bro. I really do. See, this is where he fucks up, though. Because he just admitted to a narc that he wants to do everything that we talked about. Up to this point, he was good. Up to this point, Fox was good. But now what Fox says is stupid and it could get them hung. Listen, this is what I want to do for now, right? Like, I want to do everything we talked about, bro. I really do. I want the fucking follow up on the order. But for now, we've got to do ghosts on it, right? We can't talk about it. We can't. It's ixnay on the plan. Eek, right? He's saying, listen, fuck the plan. Fuck the kidnapping. I get what you're saying. I get everything that you're talking about, bro. I really do. I get everything that you're talking about. But we can't talk about it. It's ixnay, like he's being sly. Like he's see, this is so stupid these young guys are. Like he's being sly with the foreign lingo that they ain't gonna understand. Ixnay on the plan, eek, right? Who's gonna ever solve that fucking puzzle? And these guys are stupid. At this point, don't you think that these motherfuckers would get it by now? Like they're being set up, but they don't. Later in the same call, Fox continued to repudiate Dan's plan. Because it's not until next fucking spring or fucking summer, okay? We know we can't do that until then. Let's put that on the back burner for now. Let's focus on something more tangible for the coming future and everything. What we should do is go in T.I. and his bug out plan, whatever that is. Like go dark. He don't want to do anything. Anna Fox's priority in 2020 was to be prepared for what he believed would be a social crisis at the time of the election and to have a plan to retreat. Okay. Simply, the government pushed its agenda, ignoring the disapproval of the defendants and their lack of support for the government's suggestions. The government sponsored, coordinated, and produced training, such as the one in Cambridge, where they were shooting weapons. Yes, they were up in the woods shooting weapons, and guess who paid for it? Nobody could afford to go on this trip. Bootlicker Dan says, let's all get together up in the woods and shoot. Now, everybody knows who, even a year ago, 2 years ago, how much ammunition cost. But Dan suggested, let's all get together and have some maneuvers with the family. Yes, bring the kids on up to the fucking mountains up there, or up to the flatlands or wherever we're at. We're gonna all get together, have a family day out, militia family day. And so the kids can hear the shooting of the automatic weapons. You know, a great day. Little Johnny hearing the rounds go off. It's going to be spectacular. But nobody could pay for it. Who paid for it? The man that can't even afford a $6 pizza. He paid for transportation up, gas money and all. He paid for the food up and back, both gas, food, and all that. He paid for the lodging of all of them and their families. How did Bootlicker Dan go from only being able to afford a $5 pizza to being able to spend money out the wazoo for ammunition and housing and board and food for the kiddies? You know, they probably had balloons, clowns. The DeLorean defense. That's awesome. Love DeLorean. Love the whole entire story of DeLorean is incredible. Okay. So. Yeah, they did. They announced this on a Facebook. They said, hey, we're going to go up into the woods and shoot. You militia members, we're going to go up into the woods and do some shooting, and we're doing it on Facebook. Come on up with the kids. Okay, here, let's do it this way. Come on up with the kids. Shoot a whole bunch of weapons. Hell, we might even be able to drop a bomb up there. And the government ain't going to know. Well, we're the government. We're going to include drone shootouts too. Yes, we have the technology in this militia to buy drones. This militia is strong. Black power. Black power? White power. Sorry. I'm getting so carried away. White power. I should put a swastika on my forehead. Damn. Okay, let me move on before I get myself in trouble. This event would include medical, live fire, kill house with breach and entry stack, close quarters weapons protections. If time, knife, and hand to hand. Yes, we're going to train hand to hand. Hey. Lunch and dinner Saturday and breakfast lunch Sunday will be provided for. We are a family, community-oriented organization. Look at that. See? Look, they're a family organization. All on Facebook. They said on Facebook that we're going to do some fucking live fire. We're going to do some kill house with breach and entry on Facebook. Isn't there, like, in 2020 a whole bunch of things about, Facebook and all these social media platforms kicking these people off? Why was this one allowed? Because Facebook is asshole. Facebook is the FBI, CIA, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, all CIA, FBI, government information. That's what government does best. Thin Blue Line says black power. Damn straight, man. Yeah. Established a family-oriented shootout. We're going to have a family-oriented shoot 'em up. Dan made it easy for them. He paid for the entire trip. He drove and paid for the gas and tolls. He paid for the rooms and meals. At the direction of agents, he set out to get the defendants to this meeting, no matter the hurdles. A meeting arranged by another. See, we had rat fanks everywhere. These CHS provided these. We had rat fank veterans everywhere. The whole entire operation was FBI agents except for 5 guys. There was 30, 40 people, if not more, people involved in busting this evil plot to kidnap Governor Whitmire. Cajun Randy, I keep on saying, CHS stands for informant or rat fank. And a few other things that we've mentioned, rat fank, and we'll mention them again for you. If you don't know what a CHS by now is, tell them what a CHS is, people. A rat fank, a narc, a snitch. Okay. These trainings help the government succeed in its aim to make the defendants look up to and admire its informants. On September 12th, 2021, this is just last year. As touch above, Adam Fox exclaimed to the rat fink Dan, "You got a hernia, brother. You need some medical attention, man. We can't do a plot. Your intestines are fucking hanging out, dude. And still, Defendant Fox doesn't get it. Defendant Fox says about Dickhead Dan, Informant Dan, Rat Fink Dan, that Rat Fink Dan, he's one of the most level headed and professional people I have ever met. He's a good teacher. Of course, he's a good teacher. He's an informant. He's a rat fink. Beyond admiration for its CHS, its informants, the government even bolstered Adam Fox's credibility with others, publicizing an announcement that Fox was the commanding officer. You, sir, get some fucking bars or maybe some, no, we'll give you eagles. We'll give you full-blown eagles on your chest, okay, Mr. Fox? Doesn't that make you feel so special, Mr. Fox? Oh, Cajun Randy was, he knew what it was. He just wanted to know if I would say it out. Of course I know what it was, but it's much more better, Rat Fink. Narc. Isn't it? Yeah. Snafu Bar said in the Navy, we just called them chicken sheets. Shits. Snafu Bar says, I got a razor knife and a staple gun. I'll fix that hernia. All right. That Fox was the commanding officer of the Michigan 3%ers. Oh, they must be an offshoot of them 1%ers that are the offshoot of them 10%ers, them offshoot of the 666%ers, the offshoot of the 32nd degree Orthodox percenters, right? They named themselves, the government named their militia group the Michigan 3%ers, and they named Mr. Fox the commanding officer. Yeah. You know what they used to do, and I wonder if they hazed them like this. When you get your commission, guess how they put them commission that usually it's a butter bar or what's the officer, enlisted officer, oh gosh, I can't remember their names. They're enlisted officers. But what did they do whenever you got your bars? I wonder if they did the same thing to him, Fox. They pound them into your chest. They don't put the backing on it. The backing is your skin. So I wonder if Dan, the bootlicker, I bet they did. I bet they tortured this guy. Oregon Road, good to see you. Warrant officer. Thank you, Howard Clegg. Jeez. Yeah. Even when you're a warrant officer, no, they don't spank each other. They peg you. Well, I shouldn't say that because now Princess is going to be in here talking about pegging. They stick the pegs into your skin. You're commissioned. Let it bleed. Yes, thank you, Snafu Bar, warrant officer. All right. But you see the kind of militarization, the military, they're trying to set these guys up, and they're young, they don't know any better. And at this point, do you think that Fox is getting it? No, he's proud to have them wings stuck to him. He probably still even has that fucking shirt with the blood running down it like this, right? Like this, blood running down like this. 2 fingers like this, blood running down because you, sir, are a full bird colonel in this militia. And they promoted that to the other 4 guys. The other 50 are laughing their ass off because they're government agents. Yes, that's what's called pinning the rank. No one questioned that. The function of law enforcement is the prevention of crime and the apprehend, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Da, 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 da. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to go on anymore. That's the meat of it. So now, does anybody believe that there was anybody trying to kidnap the Michigan governor other than the FBI? But that's just a motion to dismiss. You don't know what the government cooked up. You don't know what they have on Fox and the boys. They don't have any video evidence. They only have audio evidence, like tape recordings, like back in the 50s. They planted bugs and shit, the FBI. The best surveillance in the world, and they don't have any video that they've shown. Because Discovery, the trial's on March 8th, I do believe. The trial of these men are on March 8th or 12th, somewhere around there. And they've been held. They've been held for a long time. Again, they're hearing their trial is on March 8th or 12th. That's why they filed this motion to dismiss, because apparently the discovery has happened. And you would think that in a motion to dismiss that the defense would provide some form of video evidence that the government turned over, right? You would think the government, I'm calling them government, but they're FBI agents. You would think that they would have video evidence that they would turn that over in discovery. Yeah, might want to ask the governor about that. Yeah, true seeker, plausible deniability, no evidence except the cops lie. Richard Tobias, you missed a horrific show because it's about ready to end, but a really interesting show. I was cut off by the FBI in midstream, and now I'm back just to do my second part, exposing the plot by the FBI and the government to kidnap Governor Whitmire of Michigan. The government wanted to kidnap her in the worst way. White power. See, I got it right that time. I say black power just as well, though. No, I don't think they wanted to kill the governor. They just wanted to stop it while it took place. But there's another interesting thing about it is that the government kept on pushing Dan, the bootlicker, the rat fink, the narc, the paid informant. He talked these guys into driving past Whitmire's cottage. The cottage that they said that Dan, the rat fink, put in their mind that they would go shoot up and then send the bullets to her, the casings. They already sent the bullets, but send the governor the bullet casings. So the FBI and Dan set them up even more by giving them the address of the governor's cottage and sending them on their way so they could get video evidence of that. Because there was a video camera on the pole right in front of the governor's cottage to catch them. See, they send them down there, they give them the wrong address, so they have to look up the right address on their phones, thereby making it look like they were looking up the governor's cottage address and then driving by a few minutes later. Thereby, the government has their hands up even though they gave them the wrong address. So the government agents gave them the wrong address to block down the street from the governor's cottage. They said, hey, we got the wrong address here. Somebody look it up. So somebody in the car looked it up. And oh, there it is, thereby giving the government evidence that they looked her cottage address up and then drove by where they put a pole up right out front with a camera on it. Yep, look how much money was spent trying to set these guys up. Amazing. That's good. I can't wait for that Kim Potter sentencing. Good for her. I hope she gets life, but she won't. Oh, she'll probably spend most of her life in jail. Okay. I hope I was informative today. I hope I was, man, I can't be anything but horrified at what I saw today. But anyway, we're going to go back to the living room. I just wanted to clear that up, and I think I think it's vitally important that auditors understand that what they did to these guys up in Michigan, they can mutate that tactic anywhere with a conspiracy, and all they have to do is get a rat think Dan in there to say and do things, and they'll come after you for a conspiracy. I do believe there's 3 auditors now. I don't know. I forget who they are that have been charged with conspiracy, and they're sitting in jail at $100,000 bond. And I think that that's why it's important that I brought this out, because it's transferable to auditing. What they tried to do with the militia, this creating a militia, they created the militia, the 3 percenters. They recruited the 5 guys, surrounded these 5 guys with a whole bunch of military guys. So I'm just trying to say, they're going to change their tactics. They have changed their tactics. They're being real nice to you now, the ones that are in the know. They're just saying, yeah, and they're walking away. They know that individual or even 2 people is hard to prove a conspiracy. Now, this started down in Texas, where they tried to seize everybody's phones, and that chief of police down there, where Justin Pullum was doing. They seized all their phones because that chief of police thought he could build a conspiracy amongst the 20 or 30 auditors out there, or filmographers that were out there. They tried, they failed, but that is not going to deter them. Richard Tobias, good to see you, man. King Richard is in the bunkhole, but you're late. I am not going to end with anything special because it's just a really bummer show. It's just a bummer show, the whole thing. Just terrible show. And yeah, Joe Savaggio. That's right. That's right. So I'm just warning you, auditors, pay attention to the people who are left and right of you. Make sure that they can flip on you at any time, right? I mean, it doesn't mean that they're bought and paid for now. But the government can find shit on people. All people have shit to hide. So, 1 minute they could be your friend, the next minute they could act like your friend. And if they start acting a little bit too strange or jittery, or asking you to do things that they normally don't do and you normally don't do, be smart, figure them out. All right. On that note, I'm out of here. It's over a 3-hour program. The dogs were bad, but I got to get out of here. See you later. Thank you very much, everybody. Richard Tobias, Raging Cajun, Thin Blue Line Slayer, Snafu Bar, Oregon Rogue, and there was a whole bunch of other people in here before the FBI shut me down. Nat came back. The Michigander was in here. Michigander knows all this. He knows all this. Yeah. Tam the Man. Love Tam the Man. New Guru. What's up? What's up? What's up? Grand B Transparency. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Lady Gaga, Zaga come back. And Nat came back, of course. All right. Thank you very much. See you later. Love you all. Don't know when I'm going to do my next show, but I'm going to do an audit real soon. All around pigs is pork is in Bunkhole. Late, but that's all right. You can watch both episodes. One with the first part of it was all about dogs and the case law behind dogs. The second part was about the Whitmire kidnapping plot. It was ridiculous. But okay, see you later. Bye. Love you all. Bye.